everybody, it's Jessie here coming with you with this month's video. It's great to see everybody again this month, and I'm out at this great little park area here that I'm exploring today. Just wanted to take some time to talk about this concept, because there are a lot of people that talk about, hey, we have to save the earth, and it's really important that we're saving the earth and things like this, and you hear that over and over again. And definitely it is very important that we become more conscious in our use of things and how we are moving through the world, and whether we're leaving a trace in nature or not, or what's happening on all these different fronts. And definitely the pollution and all those things are important issues. However, when we really talk about saving the earth, we need to get down to some real basics and some real facts with things, and that is that the course of saving the planet, we can't truly save the planet in the way that most people think. Most people say, well, if we vibrate to this, or if we do that, or if we take care of this pollution problem, then we're going to save the earth, and there won't be anything that will happen to it. And one of the big things I want to address is the triggers that this comes from is resulting from a lot of people who have been through experiences like Atlantis, Lemuria, and these different time frames where they remember an exploding planet. They've been in these existences where the planets did explode, and they did go through these powerful pieces of things. And so they're remembering these things, and a lot of these souls are back here on this earth right now. And so these triggers are coming up with all of the pollution that's going on, with the global warming aspects that are going on, with these different shifts in the environment that are going on. And so when we bring this together, though, it's important for us to realize that we cannot stop the process of the earth. Every planet, every star, everything in the solar system has its life cycle. So we're not going to be able to stop the planet from doing certain things, from taking its nature's course in things. It's just like if you look at this tree that's right here by me. And if you take a look at this tree started as a seed. It started small, just like the earth started as a very small piece, and it's grown and it's grown and it's grown, and now it's become, you know, this much bigger tree that's here. And when we look at that, and the leaves that come out, right? And the leaves are another great example, because they cycle every season. Every season they're going to go through blooms, and they're going to go through releasing, and they're going to go through dying off, and the tree's going to do this every single year. Nature knows this. Nature gets this. It understands it has a cycle that it goes through. And Earth gets these pieces too. Our planets get these pieces too. So can we stop the tree from dying? No. I mean, certainly they're trying to create plastic trees and 3D trees, right, off of printers and things like that. But that's not going to stop the course that's going on. That's not going to stop that process of life, because life goes through that circles. Any project we do goes through these same circles of starting and going through the growth process and the development, and then the resting and the reflection, and then the closing out of it. And then we start something else. And so these endings are really not the traumatic thing, and not the thing we're stopping. Now, I want to address some of the aspects of codes with all of this, because it's really cool. And those things right back there behind me, right over there, those are really cool little birdhouses that are over here. So I thought this was such a great spot to do this. Anyways, Earth really vibrates on these code patterns that are related to immortality, and they're related to peace. And this really ties in a big thing, because when we talk about saving the earth, even though we can't stop its natural course or its natural process of things, or how it's going to take its life cycle necessarily, what we can do is make that existence more comfortable. I think all of us would love that, right? We would not want somebody to just keep piling trash on top of us and on top of us over and over again, and giving us, you know, all these horrendous things that immobilize us and that are painful for us, you know. But like any person that's dying, I mean, really what we can do is to provide love. Really what we can do is create a loving and a peaceful and a harmonious experience. And this is what saving the earth is really about. It's not keeping the earth from exploding. It is really about how are we going to make that transition when it happened. And the people that remember the explosions from before in other existences, really it was traumatic because it involved a lot of war and it involved a lot of battle. And they remember being a part of this cycle. So that trauma is still holding deep. And there were a lot of healers involved. There were a lot of sound healers. There were a lot of laying on of hands healers. There were a lot of all kinds of healers and spiritual people and vibrational people. And it was the war. It was the battle. It was the conflict. It was the lack of peace that made everything so traumatic. Because when something comes to closure and it's done in a loving way, it's done in a caring way, we don't hold that trauma to it. We hold a lot of fond memories of it. And that brings me into the aspects of save and saving, because we have two key aspects with there. And save is about a message. It's about being heard. It is about the charisma and the appeal of something. And saving is about achieving happiness. It's the success of achieving happiness. So when we look at this in combination with the earth, the saving the earth is really about using, or I shouldn't say using, but tuning into that immortal love, that immortal energy, that peace. And it is honoring that space as the message. And that will then take and create an imprint in the immortal whole. And when we create this imprint, and that's really what Earth is about, saying that, you know, this place really is beautiful, it really is charismatic, it really does draw in a lot of different life forms. And that's really what saving the Earth is about. It's really about taking the time to open up and to let nature's cycle happen naturally, lovingly, peacefully. And that's where the shifts and the changes and the consciousness and the being more eco-friendly and things like that come in, because it really comes down to creating a peacefulness for the earth to make the transitions that they have to make, and for this planet to do its natural course that it's going to do. And when we hold that vibration of love, when we hold immortal love, and we embrace that and we share that and we interact with that, and we do that with the vibrations of peace as well, then what we do is we allow that passing to happen when that time comes, to be very peaceful and very wonderful and very beautiful. And the whole point is the existence in between. Are we going to live our lives in these really tough spots, or are we going to create that peace and that beauty? Are we going to make that immortal imprint on the whole to remember this earth and this planet, as opposed to it being something that passes through that ends up forgotten somewhere or doesn't have a strong enough imprint? And what makes the really strong imprint reach the whole is the immortal love and peace that we share with one another, that we share with the planet. And so when we look at all these pieces, this is really what saving the earth is about. This is really what Save the Earth is about. And when we achieve that peace, when we love all of life with immortal love, then we are creating the success that we came here to do. And when we're looking at this opportunity and why are these things coming back around again that people remember experiencing from these other lifetimes, these other experiences that they've had along the way, it's so that we don't repeat the patterns of letting something go in hate and conflict and war. That's the pattern we're here to change. That's what saves the earth. So I hope this has been a really cool thought this month for you. And I've tied some other things in with this month's blog, so if you get a chance to read that as well. And it's really, really awesome. If you love the code work, you're going to love the fact that I'm releasing a new book and called A Code Journey, and it's all about this code journey, and it's all about a day-to-day guidebook as well that is really, really amazing and helping us to live more compassionately and to maneuver, hey, this place called Earth in a loving way. I hope everybody has a great month, and I hope you're enjoying the fall wherever you all are, because it hasn't quite kicked in here, but I think in the next week or two we're going to start to see it kick in. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.